The exhilarating rush of taking down enemies with precision and speed, the satisfying sound of a perfectly placed headshot, and the adrenaline-fueled battles against hordes of enemies. These are just a few of the reasons why first-person shooters are some of the most beloved games in the gaming industry, and for Xbox players, the options are endless. But with so many great shooters to choose from, it can be hard to decide which ones to invest your time and money into. That's why we've curated a list of the top 16 best first-person shooters on the Xbox One and Xbox Series X as of 2024. So let's start off the list with the Wolfenstein series. Because what better way than to kick off our list with a classic franchise that never seems to disappoint? Wolfenstein has been around for over 39 years, and it maintains its popularity and quality with each new installment. Wolfenstein 2: The New Colossus stands out as one of the best in the series. This game offers an alternate reality where you get to kill Nazis, yeah! And it's just as satisfying as it sounds, with punchy weapons, cool dual-wielding mechanics, and a captivating story with well-developed characters. And plus, like, what else is more fun than killing Nazis? Nothing! Number 15, Alien Isolation. Next up, we have a game that combines two beloved genres, first-person shooter and horror. This game pays respect to the movies, even with the equipment used, giving players a nostalgic feel, based on the beloved sci-fi horror film franchise, Alien Isolation. It takes players on a terrifying journey through the abandoned space station Sevastopol. Playing as Amanda Ripley, daughter of the iconic Ellen Ripley, you must outsmart the deadly xenomorph, while also trying to uncover the truth about your mother's disappearance. With stunning graphics and sound design, you'll truly feel like you're in the midst of a sci-fi nightmare. Number 14, Doom. Now this is a legendary franchise, and the 2016 reboot is a perfect example of why. It takes everything great about the original and cranks it right up to 11. With fast-paced combat, brutal finishers, and a variety of demons to blast away, this is a non-stop adrenaline rush. The game also boasts a fantastic soundtrack that adds to the intense atmosphere. And with the release of Doom Eternal, now is the time to experience the demon-slaying mayhem. Number 13, Hitman 3. Ah yes, the Hitman series. It's always been known for its stealth action gameplay, but Hitman 3 take things to a whole new level. With stunning graphics and level design, as well as a variety of ways to complete objectives, this game offers endless replay value. And with the ability to import missions from previous Hitman games, Hitman 3 truly feels like the ultimate conclusion to the series. Whether you prefer sneaking around unnoticed or prefer to go in guns blazing, Hitman 3 offers a truly satisfying experience for all types of gamers. Number 12, BioShock. Ah yes, BioShock. This has become a beloved series since its first launch in 2007 with its underwater dystopia. But it's with BioShock Infinite that developers took the world by storm, with a constant thread of items that you can find to augment your superpowers. Which, to be honest, you kind of get overwhelmed with how much there is, but that's okay. The skyhook mechanic mixes the combat up like using a BioShock jump pack. And there still is something about the player having a single-digit backpack of weapons they can carry. BioShock Infinite is the best title in the series so far. It's definitely amazing and has justified a lot of the hype have had upon its scheduled release. And as you know, that E3 demo, giant monsters, and some of the whimsical characters you'll encounter, it just never gets old. Number 11, Destiny 2. Ah yes, Destiny 2. A game that launched with great reviews, mixing FPS genres with MMORPGs. With its large map full of action and exploration, it's a gaming world that many gamers have come to know. Good old Bungie keeps on expanding this game, especially with its 2018 Forsaken expansion release. And now they're knocking it out of the park with even more expansions and events, with the inclusion of a cinematic single-player narrative. You can safely say there's a lot to do in this game, and we're finding it hard to believe that it is still growing to this day, and it definitely shows. The player count is up massively with the addition of being a free-to-play game in the online PlayStation Store. It's an amazing addition to the array of awesome games that PlayStation has to offer. Number 10, Gears 5, Gears of War. The Gears of War franchise has been a staple for Xbox consoles for years. Gears 5 is the ultimate culmination of the series. Gears 5 is the 2019 third-person shooter video game developed by the Coalition and published by Xbox Game Studios for Xbox, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S. It is the fifth main installment of the Gears of War series, and the sequel to the Gears of War 4, with enhanced graphics and gameplay on the Xbox Series X and Series S. This game is a must-play for any FPS fan. The awesome multiplayer modes, improved resolution, and 120Hz gameplay all make up for an enjoyable experience playing. And with a gripping campaign and fun DLC packs, there is plenty of content to keep players engaged for hours. Number 9, Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1 really brings the battles of World War I to life in a way that few games have. The campaign tells great self-contained stories that are well written and interesting to play through. Similar to its predecessors, Battlefield 1 is a first-person shooter game that emphasizes on teamwork. It is set in the period of World War I and is inspired by historical events. Players can make use of World War I weapons, including bolt-action rifles, submachine guns, automatic and semi-automatic rifles, artillery, flamethrowers, and poison gas to combat opponents. Multiplayer combat was was reworked with dice, introducing new melee weapons such as sabers, trench clubs, and shovels into the game. I will say the multiplayer mode sort of does take some getting used to. After being so used to playing more modern style shooters like the rest of the Battlefield series and Call of Duty series, with Battlefield 1, it's about taking your time on the battlefield, playing the class you should be playing and mowing down enemy players, with precisely planned attacks. I mean, who wouldn't have fun doing that? Number 8. Super Hot. Now this is a first-person shooter that quickly became one of the most unique titles of 2016, and in hindsight is probably the most creative shooter of the decade. It's an independent first-person shooter video game developed and published by Superhot Team. Though the game follows the traditional first-person shooter gameplay mechanics, with the player attempting to take out enemy targets using guns and other weapons. Time within the game processes at normal speed only when the player moves. This creates the opportunity for the player to assess their situation in slow motion and respond appropriately, making the gameplay similar to strategy video games. The game is presented in a minimalist art style with enemies in red and weapons in black. In contrast to the otherwise white and gray environment, the game slows down time into a matrix style of action, allowing you to see what's happening next, making your decisions easier and more calculated. When not using the slow motion feature, Superhot is also a little bit different than most FPS games, requiring some quick reflexes at certain times, and there's some dodging involved. Now you might not call that revolutionary, but with the challenging puzzle levels, deciding how the time function will be used, and the weird meta story, yeah, Superhot really has impressed us. Number 7. Metro Exodus. Ah yes, the game inspired from the novels of Dmitry Glukhovsky. Metro Exodus is a 2019 first-person shooter game developed by 4A Games and published by Deep Silver. I love saying that name, Deep Silver. Haha. The game is the third installment in the Metro video game series, and Metro is a series that focuses on the harsh realities of surviving in a post-apocalyptic world. Metro Exodus, the latest installment, takes players out of the underground tunnels and into the dangerous world above, where mutated monsters and harsh weather conditions await. Like earlier games in the series, the player controls character Artem, who must leave the tunnels of Moscow and travel across the post-apocalyptic wasteland of the former Russian Federation and the Republic of Kazakhstan, while fighting against mutated creatures and hostile humans. The atmospheric / mostly open world environment and gripping story make this title stand out from other FPS games. And with the addition of changing seasons and wildlife, Metro Exodus offers a truly immersive and impressive experience. Number 6. Far Cry 6. Ah yes. Now the Far Cry series has been around for a while, but with Far Cry 6, Ubisoft has truly outdone themselves. Far Cry 6 is a 2021 first-person shooter game developed by Ubisoft Toronto and published by Ubisoft. It is the 6th main installment in the Far Cry series and the successor to the 2018's Far Cry 5. Set in a fictional Caribbean island, players set off on a thrilling journey as Donnie Rojas, a guerrilla fighter fighting against a ruthless dictator. With gorgeous landscapes, intense and engaging combat, and a gripping storyline, this game offers a truly unforgettable experience. Similar to the previous entries in the series, Far Cry 6 is set in an open-world environment, navigatable on foot or by using various land, water, or air vehicles. The world is divided into 7 main regions, with an array of terrain ranging from urban areas and dense jungles to mountain ranges and open oceans. Number 5. Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Ah yes, the Call of Duty Modern Warfare was a game that took the gaming industry by storm when it was released on Xbox 360. Oh my gosh, I remember those days. It offered a phenomenal multiplayer experience with modern weapons, perks, and a level-up system that kept players hooked on for hours. Now, with the successful reboot of the franchise, it's safe to say that the Call of Duty Modern Warfare still holds up as one of the greatest first-person shooters of all time. The story takes place in the year of 2011, when a radical leader has executed the president of an unnamed country in the Middle East, and an ultra-nationalist movement ignites a civil war in Russia. The conflicts are seen from the perspective of a US Marine Force recon sergeant and a British SAS commando that are set in various locales, such as the United Kingdom, the Middle East, Azerbaijan, Russia, and Ukraine. With its fast-paced gameplay, abundance of game modes, including multiplayer, and a well-executed story, this game offers a complete package for FPS fans. And for fans of the original, the nostalgic factor only adds to the enjoyment of this timeless shooter. Number 4. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Now this is changing it up just a smidge. This first-person shooter game is amazing, and although Resident Evil 7 Biohazard is not really a first-person shooter in the traditional sense, I know, its first-person combat is really well executed. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard is a 2017 survival horror game developed and published by Capcom. The player controls Ethan Winters as he searches for his long-missing wife in a derelict plantation occupied by an infected family, solving puzzles and fighting enemies. Resident Evil 7 diverges from the more action-oriented Resident Evil 5 and and Resident Evil 6 gameplay, returning to the franchise's survival horror roots, emphasizing exploration. It is the first main Resident Evil game to use a first-person view, with combat mechanics that are probably the best offered out of the entire series. The first-person shooter brings real terror, making the combat more intense, and with VR support, you could be living out your worst nightmares and gain PTSD along the way. Isn't that fun? This is without a doubt one of the best Resident Evil games in the entire series, if not the best one to date. And as far as VR games go, this game is considered to be one of the absolute best games you can play on VR, if you choose to play using one. Number 3. Overwatch. The fast-paced, team-based multiplayer action of Overwatch has kept players glued to their screens since its release in 2016, and the game continues to thrive in 2024. With its colorful cast of characters and their unique abilities, players can mix and match to find their perfect playstyle. The game also offers a diverse selection of game modes, allowing for endless hours of fun with friends. And with frequent updates and events, there's always something new and exciting to look forward to in Overwatch. The game features several different game modes, principally designed around squad-based combat with 2 opposing teams of 6 players each. Players can select one of over 24 pre-made hero characters from one of 3 class types: damage heroes that deal the most damage to attack or defend control points, tank heroes that can absorb a large amount of damage, and support heroes that can provide healing or other buffs for their team. Number 2. Rainbow Six Siege. Now this offers a unique tactical experience unlike any other game on the market. While most FPS games focuses on fast-paced shooter games where it's all fast-paced, you know? This game is all about being strategic and working as a team, with various operators to choose from, each with their own unique abilities. Players must work together to achieve victory. The game modes vary from offense versus defense, with tasks such as rescuing hostages or defusing bombs. One of the standout features of this game is its exceptional sound design, immersing players in the gameplay. And with various tools at your disposal, such as rappel hooks and drones, there are endless possibilities for how to approach each match. Rainbow Six Siege may be a slower-paced game, but it offers a level of tactical shooting that is hard to find in any other game. The game features a symmetrical structure, making it so the teams are not always balanced in their choices of abilities. The base counterterrorism units available for play are the American Hostage Rescue Team, referred to in-game as the FBI SWAT, the British SAS, and the German GSG-9, and we also have the Russian Spetsnaz and the French GIGN, each of which has 4 operators per unit, split between attackers and defenders. Now who the heck would be dumb enough to not include the Halo Master Chief Collection at the number 1 spot? I don't know, because this game is a compilation of first-person shooter video games in the Halo series. Hello! The collection was released in November 2014 for the Xbox One, and later ported to Microsoft Windows and Xbox Series X and S. The Master Chief Collection originally consisted of Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, Halo 2 Anniversary, Halo 3, and Halo 4, complete with their full catalog of extras, including all multiplayer maps and gameplay modes. There have been no story and gameplay changes to the original releases. The games are first-person shooters with vehicular combat that takes place from a third-person perspective. Each campaign has 4 difficulty levels and access to gameplay modifiers known as skulls. All 4 campaign modes can be played alone or cooperatively via split screen or Xbox Live on Xbox One and Series X and S. The Microsoft Windows release does not have split screen capability, but it can be played cooperatively online with Steam friends and Xbox friends. Hello. The iconic gameplay and epic storylines of these games have remained a favorite for years, and with this collection it's easy to jump in and relive these adventures with updated graphics and features. The Master Chief Collection is a must-have for any FPS fan, and it is our top pick for the best first-person shooter on Xbox One and Xbox Series X as of 2024. So go out and enjoy the exhilarating rush of these top first-person shooters on Xbox One and Xbox Series X. With a mix of classic franchises and newer titles, there's something for every FPS fan on the list. So what are you waiting for? It is time to experience the thrill of these top-rated shooters for yourself. But if you feel like we've missed anything, please add your thoughts down below in the comments. I would love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed the video, please feel free to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on the latest gaming news and content from Gaming Mindset.